Good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingley Tim Hokip bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include Kim Elik's Maytay of starting Jiribam conflict, says only separate political settlement left to save Kuki people from Maytay atrocities. State Cabinet to conduct local bodies election including ADCs in September. IMD issues orange alert for heat wave in Northwest, North and East India. News in detail. The Kuki INP in its press release dated 13 of June 2024 has accused the Chief Minister and Maytay leadership of spreading false propaganda and fabricating truths about recent developments in Jiribam district between the Maytay Kuki communities since June 6, 2024. The Kuki Maytay Peace Pact, which was sustained by the Kuki-Zo people of Jiribam, with stringent efforts, was put to rest when the Maytay set 3 to 4 Kuki homes on fire due to the death of one, Soibam Sarat Kumar Singh, 59, in Mulargaon area in Jiribam. The Kuki INP recalls how on May 18, Say Gaulin Singh Son, a 21-year-old from Paitol village, Tamenglong, was killed and later found floating in the Ziri River. Despite this, the Kuki CSOs of Jiribam honor the peace pact and took precautionary measures against possible violence, the release alleges. The burning of homes and attacks without evidence or procedure investigations solely indicate the conspiracy hatched by N. Biren Singh-led government to deter peace efforts and engineer violence in Jiribam district. The year-long Maytay Kuki ethnic conflict is a persecution of the minority Kuki-Zo tribals by the N. Biren Singh's government. The Kuki-Zo tribals of Jiribam have not received any relief assistance from the government, and the attention given to the victims is never the same and sharply contrasts to the treatment meted out to the displaced Maytay community. Moreover, the ambush of VBIGs near SK Sinam village along National Highway 37 that was odiously claimed by N. Biren Singh as an ambush of his advance team explains the conspiracy of Maytay terror groups with the Manipur state government in the persecution against the Kukis. The whole episode of Jiribam violence is a classic example of how the Maytay Kuki ethnic conflict started on 3rd May 2023. It is a well-programmed action of the communal Manipur government led by N. Biren Singh and his private militia Arambay Tengol, Maytay Lipun and the Valley-based insurgent groups VBIGs. It is irrefutable that the persecution of the Kukis call for swift political settlement to safeguard the rights and dignity of the Kuki-Zo people against the unrestrained persecution by the Manipur state government. Indigenous Tribes Advocacy Committee (ITSC), a tribal body in Manipur, has called for a 24-hour vigilance and patrolling by central forces in areas dominated by the Kuki Mar-Zo tribes in Jiribam district of Manipur. The ITSC has called for patrolling by central forces in Kuki Mar-Zo areas in Jiribam district of Manipur to prevent incidents of property destruction and theft allegedly carried out by the Maytay miscreants and Arambay Tengol. We urge the competent authorities to immediately arrange a 24-hour vigil and patrolling by central forces in and around the localities inhabited by the indigenous tribals of Mar, Kuki and Jomi in Jiribam, to prevent further destruction and stealing of properties and items by Maytay miscreants and Arambay Tengol, the ITSC stated in a statement. It may be mentioned here that fresh tension erupted in Jiribam on Thursday, June 13, as 4 stops belonging to members of the Mar Kuki Zomi tribes were set ablaze, the Indigenous Tribes Advocacy Committee ITSC claimed. In the statement, the ITSC condemned the incident and called for immediate action against the perpetrators. According to the ITSC, the SOPs located in Marveng, Kalinagar and Maytay Lekai areas of Jiribam district in Manipur were allegedly targeted by the Maytay armed group Arambay Tengol. The committee named the affected SOP owners and demands swift arrest and legal action against those responsible. We urge the authorities to promptly apprehend the culprits and ensure they face appropriate punishment under the law, the ITSC statement read. The ITSC also highlighted areas in urgent need of protection, including Kalinagar Part 1 and 2, Marveng, IB Lekay, Karong, Rani Veng, Mission Kampang, Vengnom, Babupara, Ward Number 4, Bazar, and Uchathol. The ITAC further reported that tensions have escalated in recent days, with incidents including the burning of 45 houses belonging to the Mar Kuki Zomi tribes and the alleged kidnapping of 40-year-old El Lallian Muang from Vengnom, Dibong Kuno by Arambay Tinggol members. Lallian Muang's whereabouts remains unknown. The ITAC further accused Arambay Tinggol of instigating unrest to maintain influence ahead of the 2027 assembly elections in Manipur. The escalating tensions in Jirebam district of Manipur have led hundreds of Mar Kuki Zomi tribe members and Meiteis to seek refuge in neighboring Assam. Meanwhile, over 900 Meiteis are residing in 7 relief camps within Jirebam. Jirebam district in Manipur, typically known for its ethnic diversity and previously untouched by major ethnic conflicts, recently saw unrest following the discovery of a mutilated body of a 59-year-old Meitei man and the alleged killing of a Kuki teen. The situation in Jirebam remains tense, with authorities working to restore calm and prevent further escalation of ethnic tensions in the region. The State Cabinet of Manipur today approved to conduct local bodies elections for autonomous district councils ADC, panchayats and municipalities jointly around September 2024. The Cabinet also approved seeking the views of the Hill Areas Committee HSC in respect of ADC elections. A Cabinet decision of the state government has also constituted a Cabinet subcommittee under Rule 13 of the Rules of Business of Government of Manipur in connection with rehabilitation and resettlement of internally displaced persons IDPs in the state resulting from the ongoing crisis. The subcommittee would be headed by Minister of Works and YAS, K. Govinda Singh as the chairperson, while Minister of Water Resources and Relief and Disaster Management, Awangbo Nyumai Minister, Medical Health and FW and IPR, Dr. Sapam Ranjan Singh, and Minister AH and VETI and Transport, Kasim Vasum would be the members of the constituted committee. Commissioner Come Home, Gyan Prakash Huiram IAS will be the member secretary of the committee. The committee shall report to the Chief Minister. The terms of reference of the Cabinet subcommittee includes identifying the grievances of IDPs staying in the relief camps, assessing the needs and requirements of persons in relief camps, supervising measures for resettlement and rehabilitation of IDPs, and supervising identification of land and temporary relocation of IDPs. The Cabinet also resolved to instruct Deputy Commissioners to complete assessment of damage due to floods within 1 week. The Cabinet also approved Rs 10,000 per flood-affected family as immediate relief. The World Kuki Zo Intellectual Council WKZIC General Headquarters Songpi Lamka, India, strongly condemned the burning down of 2 goods-laden vehicles, appertains 84 unit of Boulder Road Transport Force, BRTF vehicles, and severely harassing those drivers and their helpers somewhere near Umat Hill, under Waikong Police Station within the Assembly segment of Suknu Kakching District. 5 shop belonging to Kuki Zo community in Marveng, Kalinagar Bazar, Jirebam District, Manipur on 12 June and 13 June 2024, and the attempted attack of all Kuki Zo villages in Paileng Mall areas of Kangpokpi District simultaneously with the 2 incidents. The Evil Alliance of Meitei Lipun Arambay Tinggol Manipur People Army MPA, which is a secessionist UGs and Manipur State Forces, had committed such illegal acts in day broad light, leading to burning down of the shops and the BRTF vehicles, clearly shows the continuing communal activities of the state government, sponsored Kuki Zo genocide and complete lawlessness in the state as a whole. What is the most horrific and appalling is that how the state government is working along with secessionist Meitei militants in the midst of central security forces against the Kuki Zo community. How would be the condition of minority Kuki Zo people without the intervention of the central forces? These nefarious, inhuman and dastardly acts of the Meitei militants along with Manipur State Force against the minority community is tantamount to invitation of more violence in the state. The government of India must intervene in this matter. and settle the problems of the Kuki-Zo community, whose ancestral territory has been wrongfully clubbed with the Meiteis Valley into same administration as Manipur, and understand the plight of the concerned Kuki-Zo community, grant their onerous and indispensable political demand in the form of separate administration under the purview of the Constitution of our country before it is too late, added the release. India Meteorological Department IMD has issued an orange alert for heatwave conditions in northwest, north and eastern parts of the country. The IMD said the heatwave to severe heatwave conditions will prevail over parts of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Odisha for the next 3 to 4 days. Talking to Akashvani News, senior scientist at IMD, Dr. R.K. Zinamani said that the average temperature is expected to rise by 5 to 6 degrees Celsius over these regions in the upcoming days. The Weather Department has also forecast that heavy to very heavy rainfall with isolated extremely heavy falls very likely to continue over sub-Himalayan West Bengal, Sikkim and Northeast India during the next 3 to 4 days. It added that light to moderate rainfall with thunderstorms, lightning and gusty winds up to 50 km per hour are likely over Goa and Maharashtra during the next 4 days. Similar weather conditions will continue over Karnataka, Kerala, Lakshadweep, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands till the 17th of this month. On southwest monsoon, the IMD said that conditions are favorable for further advancement of monsoon into some more parts of Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, coastal Andhra Pradesh, and northwest Bay of Bengal during the next 2 to 3 days. Meanwhile, in Delhi, the IMD predicted partly cloudy skies with the possibility of light rain accompanied by thunderstorms or lightning, and heat wave conditions with strong surface winds gusting up to 35 km per hour. The maximum temperature in the national capital is expected to hover around 44 degrees Celsius. UKNA in its press release dated 14/5/2024 hereby informs all individuals who are filling up documents to receive compensation or ex gratia to stop it in the earliest. Since the Meiteis had declared war upon us on the 3rd of May 2023, we have demanded political solution from the government of India for a totally separated administration, and no one is allowed to receive compensation or ex gratia until and unless our political solution is met, says UKNA. After the biased government of Manipur have burned down our homes and settlements and killed our fellow men, where do we still get the heart to ask compensation or filed our complaints to such government? It questions. If anyone, regardless of whom they are or what their condition is, attempts to get any help from the government, he or she should be taken as siding with the Meiteis and shall be banished from every Kuki settlement. As per the meeting resolution of KIM held on last 4/7/2023, which demand political solution from the Indian government so as to draw a permanent boundary between the Kuki and Meitei regions. UKNA would also support Kuki INP and its branches in their firm political demand and shall stand with them under all cases. If any individual is found acting against the order of KIM and UKNA, such individual will be meted with befitting actions by the organization. An apex body of Nagas in Manipur, the United Naga Council, has barred Congress MP Alfred Arthur from public platforms for 7 years. The other two are S. Ho Zon and Elysion Abonmai, who contested the Outer Manipur Lok Sabha constituency as independents. They finished third and fourth behind Arthur and Kachui Timothy Jimik of the Naga People's Front, NPF. This decision was met during an emergency assembly on June 13, based on the resolution taken on May 29, 2024, in Jamdil, Manipur. The three individuals from different tribes were allegedly found to have defied the council's position in the recent Lok Sabha elections. All Naga units are directed to enforce this resolution immediately. In a public notification on June 13, the United Naga Council said it took action against the trio as they purposefully defied and failed to respect and honor the position of the UNC in the recently concluded Lok Sabha elections, and their willful attempt to challenge the Naga people's position and its spirit of unity. They are hereby debarred from public platforms and holding any position or leadership in the Naga society for a period of 7 years with immediate effect. The notification signed by X. James Howe, the Information and Publicity Secretary of the UNC, read, "The Naga body directed all its constituent units, subordinate or associate units, and the Naga populace to uphold the resolution and enforce it accordingly in their respective jurisdiction." Arthur and Jimmick belong to the Tangkul community, while John is a Paumay and Abonmay is a Liangmay. The Manipur government has suspended 3 senior doctors for not reporting to their assigned duties at the district hospital in Jiribam. The suspension, effective June 13, comes as Jiribam faces escalating violence and a surge in internally displaced persons seeking refuge in relief camps. An order from the Joint Secretary of the Manipur Health and Family Welfare Department states that the 3 doctors are suspended pending disciplinary proceedings. The suspended doctors are Dr. Oinam Bisu Singh, a specialist in anesthesia, Dr. Laisram Oken Singh, a specialist in plastic surgery, and Dr. Feiga Lakshan Gangmei, also a specialist in anesthesia. They failed to comply with a government directive to join their post at the Jiribam District Hospital. Under Rule 10 of the Central Civil Services Rules 1965, the doctors must remain at their headquarters in Imphal and cannot leave without permission. The unrest in Jiribam began on June 6, destroying around 100 houses. Approximately 1,000 individuals, including women and children, are now in relief camps, and the Jiribam District Hospital is under increased pressure as many displaced persons need medical attention. At least 6 people were killed and 1,500 odd tourists stranded as massive landslides triggered by incessant rainfall caused devastation in northern Sikkim's Mangan district, officials said on Thursday. A newly constructed Bailey Bridge at Sakalang collapsed, snapping the link between Mangan with Jonggu and Chungthang. Landslides blocked stretches of roads and several houses were inundated or damaged, while electricity poles were swept away, they said. Towns such as Donggu, Chungthang, Lachen, and Lachung in Mangan district, known for popular tourist spots like Guru Dongmar Lake and Yuntang Valley, have now been cut off from the rest of the country. 3 persons each died in Pasip and Ambithang villages, Mangan district magistrate Ham Kumar Chetri said. A number of houses were damaged in Gaithang and Nampathang. A relief camp has been set up at Paksip for the displaced people, Chetri said. The district magistrate also held a meeting with other officials to take stock of the situation following the incessant rainfall in and around Mangan district since Wednesday night and instructed them to carry out rescue and relief works. Mobile network services were affected in North Sikkim even as a request was made by the district administration to send an SDRF team with ration to Mangan, the official said. The collapsed Bailey Bridge at Sakalang was constructed after the massive social flood in the Tista River in October last year. The authorities have asked the stranded tourists to stay where they are right now till alternative road connectivity could be set up for movement of vehicles, officials said. The Mangan District Administration has started works with several agencies to expeditiously construct a bridge at Pidang to restore connectivity in the region. Sikkim Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang, who is in Arunachal Pradesh to attend the swearing-in ceremony of BJP leader Pema Khandu, asked the administration, police and officials of various departments to ensure a swift response to the devastation. Efforts are underway to provide every possible support to the victims and affected families, including recovery assistance, temporary settlement, and the provision of basic needs, Tamang said in a statement. The state government stands firmly with the victims of this unfortunate incident, pledging the utmost support to the bereaved families and all those affected and displaced by the landslides, he said. He will soon return to the state to personally supervise rescue and relief operations. Meanwhile, the Tista River is in a spat which might affect the residents of low-lying Singtam town. In Namchi district, the surging water in the Tista River marooned the Meli Stadium, officials said. Nearly 50 people were killed in the flash flood that hit the Himalayan state in October last year. The NIA on Thursday charge-sheeted 7 accused involved in the Bellary ISIS module case under the IPC Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, UAPA Arms Act, and Explosive Substances Act. The 7 arrested earlier by NIA have been charged with recruitment and radicalization of vulnerable youth as mujahideen to operate as terrorist sleeper cells, the agency stated in a release on Thursday. The accused were part of a bigger ISIS conspiracy to prepare 50 such sleeper cells in each district of India by 2025. The accused were also involved in the fabrication of explosive for furtherance of the ISIS goal to establish the caliphate system in India by waging jihad against the government of India, the NIA stated in the charge sheet. As per NIA investigation in the case, which was registered in December 2023, the Bellary module was inspired by the separatist and violent ideology of the proscribed terrorist organization ISIS. The sleeper cells were being prepared to carry out guerrilla attacks on Indian soldiers, police, and leaders of specific religious organizations. The improvised explosive devices prepared by the accused were meant to unleash terrorist violence in various parts of the country. The accused had already carried out a trial blast in Bellary, Karnataka, and had also been sharing jihad-related digital documents or data with other vulnerable youth, added the agency. During investigation, NIA has seized explosive materials, sharp-edged weapons, digital services containing propaganda magazines related to jihad, Khilafat, Fidayin attacks published by various terrorist organizations including ISIS, and several incriminating documents or data exposing the ISIS roadmap for establishing Islamic rule in India. According to the charge sheet, 6 of the charge-sheeted accused had taken bayat from their co-accused MD Sulaiman alias Minas, who had proclaimed himself as Amir of the group created by him. Besides Minas, the others have been identified as Muhammad Muniruddin, Sid Samir, and MD Mujamil, who are residents of Karnataka. Anas Iqbal Sheikh is from Maharashtra, Mohan Sabaj alias Julfikar is from Jharkhand, and Sayan Rehman alias Hussein is from Delhi. Further investigations are in progress to unravel the complete conspiracy and identify others involved in the same, added the news. Sagang Division residents reported that Puso men entered the neighborhood of Tamu City 14 and robbed them of religious items and phones. Once on the 8th and once yesterday on the 12th, they were blindfolded. It was around 10 o'clock at night. They did not take away the funds of the charitable religious group and theology children. They took 3 phones on the 8th and 1 on the 12th. They came in with guns, a person close to the families who were robbed told Jalan. He said that the Puso men who attacked like this had 3 people on June 8 and 5 yesterday on the June 12. This Puso Hoi group are students of Pong Hang Mai, and they often play with the city 12, 13 Nang Palong ward and 14 Chang Nek Yi ward of the city. According to local residents, they are collecting ransom and looting. The molten remains of the 45 Indians killed in the Kuwait fire reached Kochi early today, June 14. At 50 workers died in the fire at a residential building in Mangav on June 12. Manorama Online has reported that Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, other ministers and hundreds of people waited at the airport to pay respect. The bodies were brought back to the Indian Air Force's C-130J transport aircraft. Junior External Affairs Minister Kirti Vardhan Singh was aboard the aircraft. The Manorama report noted that Kochi authorities took the mortal remains of 23 workers from Kerala, 7 from Tamil Nadu and 1 from Karnataka. That of the others will be sent to Delhi on the same aircraft. 3 of them belong to Andhra Pradesh, 2 to Odisha, 3 are from Uttar Pradesh, and 1 each are from Bihar, Punjab, Karnataka, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Jharkhand and Haryana. 49 people were additionally injured in the fires, 33 of whom are undergoing treatment in Kuwait. An electrical circuit at the building where the fire started caused the accident, Kuwait's fire force said. Most of the workers were employees of a farm managed by businessman KG Abram, who incidentally, according to Indian Express, co-produced a recent film of challenges of Malayali workers in West Asia. Leaders of the Group of Seven G7 major democracies agreed on an outline deal on Thursday to provide $50 billion of loans for Ukraine using interest from Russian sovereign assets frozen after Moscow invaded its neighbor in 2022. The political agreement was the centerpiece of the opening day in southern Italy of the annual summit of G7 leaders, attended for a second successive year by Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky. He signed a new long-term security accord with U.S. President Joe Biden after signing a 10-year security accord with Japan, with Tokyo promising to provide Kyiv with $4.5 billion this year, underlining continued strong backing from the West. Calling the frozen asset agreement a significant outcome, Biden told reporters it was another reminder to Russian President Vladimir Putin that we are not backing down. The G7 plan for Ukraine is based on a multi-year loan using profits from some $300 billion of impounded Russian funds, the bulk of which are blocked in the European Union. The technical details will be finalized in the coming weeks, with the new cash expected to reach Kyiv by the end of this year thanks to contributions from all G7 states: the United States, Canada, Britain, France, Germany, Japan, and Italy. This is a very clear commitment that should embolden the Ukrainians to do what they need to do to defend their independence and sovereignty, said German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. The aim of the deal is to ensure it can run for years regardless of who is in power in its G7 state, and not to concerns that U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump may be much less sympathetic to Kyiv if he beats Biden in November's election, according to a person close to the talks. Russia regards attempts by the West to take income from its frozen assets as criminal. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said on Thursday, adding that Moscow's response would be very painful to the European Union. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Thursday that Chinese President Xi Jinping, during a telephone conversation, told him that China would not sell weapons to Russia. The Ukraine president was speaking at a joint press conference with U.S. President Joe Biden at the G7 summit in Italy. Zelensky, however, did not specify when the conversation with the Chinese counterpart took place. "I had a firm conversation with the leader of China. He said that he will not sell any weapon to Russia. We will see if he is a respectable person. He will not, because he gave me his word," Zelensky said in English, as quoted by news agency Reuters. As Zelensky finished speaking, Biden chimed in and said, "By the way, China is not supplying weapons, but the ability to produce those weapons and the technology available to do it. So it is in fact helping Russia," as quoted by Reuters. The Ukraine president said that if Kyiv and China had the same views on peace, there could be a dialogue between them, and that if Beijing had an alternative view, it could prepare an alternative peace formula. The Ukraine leader has prompted his vision for peace in Ukraine, which he calls his peace formula. Switzerland is slated to host international delegations from dozens of countries and organizations this weekend at a summit in a bid to bring peace in Ukraine. According to Reuters, the last publicly known phone call between Zelensky and Xi was in April 2023, the only such call since Russia's full-scale invasion. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.